it ahead. The final seconds tick down in this one from Enterprise Center. The Wild open the season here with a 5-0 win. They will end their road portion of the season with a 6-3 loss here in St. Louis.
Former Minnesota Wild captain Wes Walz joins us now at Walz3737 via the X machine. How are things, Mr. Wes Walz? The Dallas series can't get here soon enough, right?
Oh my gosh, have we not been saying that for like 10 weeks? Both these teams basically having 2 months to prepare for each other. I'm sure each coach knows what every player in the series likes to eat for pregame meals, when they like to sleep. It's they've had a lot of time, both coaches, to get ready for this matchup we're going to see starting Saturday. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fun. There's two great teams, and I can't wait.
Captain, did you ever play? Have you ever played in game or games like last night, where the best of the best sat and Walsey had to get out there and grind to try to win a game?
Yeah, but not in a Minnesota Wild uniform. We were an expansion team those early years. There were no free games back then. You were just playing so you could get the next game, back in the early years with the Wild. But I will say this, I was in Detroit's organization for a couple years, and I got called up from the American Hockey League, in the mid-90s when I played for the Detroit Red Wings. And I got a chance to play in the last 2 games of the season for the Detroit Red Wings, when Scotty Bowman was resting Sergei Fedorov and Steve Yzerman, guys like that. And the actual game that we won at the end of the season was the 60th win, and that was an NHL that was the NHL record for the most wins up until maybe, I think, a couple of years ago. Boston beat it. So so it's kind of interesting being in that lineup. I think I only played about 7 or 8 minutes, but I was in the lineup for that game for Detroit, and it's hilarious because there's a mural downstairs in Detroit when you walk into the building, and it shows the lineup that has all the names of all the players that played in that specific game, because it was an NHL record. And at the bottom, it's got my name down there, and I only played 2 games that season, so kind of comical.
That's fantastic. It's what he had in front of him. It just the situation last night with the best of the best not playing speaks for itself. Gus was dicey last night at St. Louis, or was he not dicey? I mean, do you have concerns with him heading to Dallas?
Oh, geez, I figured that may have come up in this conversation. I mean, it's an obvious, talker, just because of the situation we're in. It's getting uncomfortable, for sure. I think if you would have asked me, PA, maybe 3 weeks ago, I would have thought the game 1 starter was obviously a slam dunk, the way Gus was playing, and but the last 3 weeks, the way Wallstedt has been playing, I think his last 8 starts, he's only given up like 16 goals, and obviously we've watched Gus here over the last 2 or 3 weeks. His last 5 or 6 starts, he has not been sharp. He just has not been, and obviously we all know Gus has had an incredible season. His numbers are great, but just right now he just looks a little bit off of his game. So I don't believe it's a slam dunk. I still do believe. If you gave me the choice going into game 1, even if Wally throws a nice game out there again here tonight, I still, in my opinion, am still leaning toward Gus for game 1. And there's a few reasons why. His numbers in the playoffs in his 11 starts, his save percentage is right around 92. So those numbers you can't overlook those. And even his numbers, regardless of the 5 that he gave up last night, his numbers against Dallas in his career are I think his save percentage against Dallas in 13 starts is .926, which is off the charts. So those are a couple. And if you remember in 2023 Game 1, PA, the Wild won Game 1 in overtime. I think it was Eki that scored in overtime, and I believe Gus had 51 saves on 53 shots or something like that, and that was Game 1. So there's lots of positive things on the positive side with Gus too, but the eye test just isn't there right now, and so we'll see. Coach John Hines, we all have opinions. PA, everyone's got opinions. I can't walk around buildings without anybody having an opinion on who should start game one. The only opinion that matters is Coach John Hines.
Okay, so let's eliminate goaltending, Wes. What must happen for the Minnesota Wild to get past Dallas?
The power play, the special teams battle has to be won by the Minnesota Wild. I mean, I was just, you talk about the coaching staff, both coaching staffs having all kinds of time to prepare. Well, so are the broadcasters. We've known that we're going to play Dallas for a long, long time. So just kind of looking at numbers and history for the Minnesota Wild, and I looked at the Wild in their 24 years. Well, this is year 25, but 24 years where we could have made the playoffs. The Wild have had 17 series in the 24 years of our existence. We have won the power play battle, meaning we've scored more goals on the power play than our opposition in 3 of those 17 series.
Ooh.
That's it. And the year in 2003 when we went on our run, PA,
yep,
2 of those 3 were against Colorado and Vancouver, where we won the power play battle. So for me, it's going to be so hard to score 5-on-5 during that series. Both teams defend so hard and they check so well that I am 100% convinced whichever team wins the power play battle is going to win that series. And the Wild are going into this series with the best power play it has ever had in its existence, with Quinn Hughes running the ship at the top of the zone. And then you look at Dallas's power play. Wyatt Johnston, I think he's leading the NHL in 26 or 27 power play goals. So you got 2 unbelievable teams there. So for me, going into that series, PA, that is the one area that I'm looking at for sure that the Wild have to. I mean, outside goaltending, I mean, everybody knows if whoever gets the best goaltending probably has a good chance to win too. But outside of goaltending, I would say the Wild need to win the special teams battle in order to get past the Dallas Stars.
Well, that's elite intel. And, I feel okay about that. And yeah, I've seen Johnston from the slot. I mean, it's lethal. It's an unbelievably potent piece of hockey. Robertson, really good in the power play. But the Stars were 4 for 4 against us on the power play up until the last time they met in St. Paul. And I'm not sure Dallas has scored a power play goal since. It may be 0 for 4 since then. So Heinze and crew have turned that thing around a little bit. But Johnston from the slot, I mean, that has hockey immortality to it. When I asked you outside of goaltending what must happen to get past Dallas, I thought you were going to go down this road, so I'll ask it. How important will 4th line scoring be for the Wild in the Stars series?
Again, that's if you had to put, your top 4 or 5 keys to winning the series, that would definitely be in there as well. And I would call it basically depth scoring. Again, doing more research in the last couple of seasons. I think the last 3 years I went back the last 3 playoff rounds that the Wild lost in. Players that were playing under 11 minutes in the games per average, which would be 4th line players, PA, I think they scored 2 goals in 18 games. Every series went 6 games. So that's not enough to win. I mean, yes, they're good defensively, but if you want to have a chance to beat top teams, you have to have offensive production, and you don't have to carry the mail. But in a 6-game series, if your 4th line can score, 3 or 4, 3 to 5 goals, there's a good chance you're going to win the series. It's been proven out. And you look back to the series when we lost to Vegas last summer. PA, Boldy and Kaprizov, I believe, scored. I think they both had 5 goals in that series, and the Wild scored 19 in the series. That's only 9 goals from anyone not Kaprizov and Boldy, and that's why we were chasing this series. I mean, we still played well enough defensively to win that series, but scoring depth is going to be huge going into that series as well. And that's something we're going to be looking for. But it's you look at the Wild and the depth that they have this year as far as scoring. They've got more depth this year than they ever had in their existence. So that is an area that's that they're going to have to get is production from their fourth line. And I'm talking goals, not just great play. We need some goals.
Walz. If Heiskanen and Hintz miss some or all of the series, and Hintz has I think he's only played one time since the Olympic break, but if they miss all or most of the series, how impactful is that for Dallas?
Oh, PA, that's everything. I mean, Are you kidding me? Rope Hintz is, I think in the series a few years ago, I mean, he beat us by himself. I think he had 5 goals in that series. I just remember him flying around the neutral zone. The fact that I think he's played 11 minutes. I think he played 11 minutes in his first game back from the Olympics, and then got hurt. And I don't know exactly the situation he is in right now. I know they're saying that at some point during the first round, but who knows exactly what's going on in the locker room. That would be a big loss for them. And I mean, Miro Heiskanen, I know most people, when you're talking about Norris Trophy winners, you're talking about, Quinn Hughes, and you're talking about Werenski and Dahlin and Bouchard and all the, Makar, but pound for pound for me, the one of the top 3 defensemen in the NHL is Miro Heiskanen. He doesn't get enough run because he plays so hard defensively, and he's such a great 200-foot player. Maybe he doesn't put up some of the numbers offensively that some of the other players do, but I think people around the National Hockey League know exactly how important Miro Heiskanen is to the Dallas Stars in the 30 minutes that he plays. So if he's a little bit banged up, even if they play in the series, PA, to not have played, if you're Rope Hintz, to not have played since the Olympic break and just jump on the treadmill going 25 miles an hour. A lot of times as that series goes on, PA, you just get spit right off the back of the treadmill and sometimes just go flying right through the wall. So that's an advantage the Wild would have going into that series as well. The fact that they're probably healthier than the Dallas Stars.
So Hughesy didn't play last night. I mean, I'm not out there. I'd guess he plays tonight, Fan Appreciation Night. Then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off. Well, outside of practice and skates, and then they play. I think Saturday, Sunday, whatever. Does Quinn Hughes need this little break? I mean, he's a machine, but he plays so much, and sometimes there's only so much proverbial blood that can be squeezed from that turnip. Know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm not sure. Obviously, there's no morning skate, no media availability this morning with Coach John Hines, so we're not sure exactly what the lineup is going to look like at this point. To be honest with you, I could go either way. I know Brett was asking me before I came on with you about what what might happen, and I just have a feeling tonight that Coach Hines is probably going to lean toward just giving guys, that are a little bit banged up, a little bit more rest. Yep. I mean, PA, we've had such a crappy track record here of over the last at least 10 years of getting guys banged up. I still remember Jason Pominville in a nothing game when we had an unbelievable team. I think it was Jason Pominville. The last game of the season, nothing game, took an elbow in the head and he didn't play. And I think about Eki breaking a leg. Listen, for me, PA, I know our fans want to see all our best players at home, but I know our fans want to make sure that we have every bullet in the chamber Saturday afternoon or Saturday evening whenever we take on the Dallas Stars. I think that's the most important thing. So
I agree.
We'll see how it plays out. I'm not sure what the lineup's going to look like, but that would be the way that I would lean if you asked me.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and I'm glad you said that. I mean, I got a little too fanish there, thinking Fan Appreciation Night. It's at home, but yeah, what you say from a business perspective makes a lot of sense. Just a few more here for former captain for the Minnesota Wild, Walz. Is Ryan Hartman your kind of player? I mean, he's so gritty and he's so important, right?
Yeah, he is. He really is, and. Sometimes, the last few years, sometimes his game during the regular season, there's more peaks and valleys in his game than I'm sure the coaching staff would love to have. But I'm telling you, and this has been a common thread since he's been in a Wild uniform. These last 4, 5, 10 games before the playoffs start and when the playoffs start, I mean, this guy is ready to play. He just really, really is. And, man, there's nothing more, you know, when you're a player in a locker room and you look around and you know, you're playing one of the best teams in the NHL and you're walking out the tunnel, you need men. You need guys that aren't afraid of the moment. You know, guys that are willing to sacrifice. I think Ryan, you know, he's had an unbelievable year offensively. He's playing with one of the best players in the world in Kirill Kaprizov. He doesn't get enough credit for his game defensively. And I think I saw a stat, I think it was on the NHL Network here, maybe about a week or so ago, and I was not aware of it. Ryan Hartman is like second in the National Hockey League as far as forwards in blocking shots. So he's a gamer. I think he's got 16 points in the last 17 games the Wild have played in the playoffs. You need gamers if you want to knock off teams like the Dallas Stars, and I'm pretty glad he's in our locker room, and I'm sure he'll be ready to go. Well, we won't have to worry about whether Ryan Hartman's ready to go. We already know he'll be ready to go.
Walzy, what do you think about this? Does handling the pressure of the Olympics and winning the gold help younger players like Boldy, Faber, and Hughes when the playoffs hit?
I think the confidence of winning the gold medal and just winning and knowing what it's just that feeling of being in a locker room after you've won a championship is and I never done it. I didn't do it at the highest level, but I won championships in Switzerland and in other places too. So I know the feeling is the same. And I'm sure those guys have won championships growing up. It's like a drug. It is. And so I think, you know, with Team USA winning the gold medal and having Quinn and Matt Boldy have such a big impact on the fact that they, you know, were able to beat Canada, especially in that gold medal game. I was just looking closer at Matt Boldy's numbers during the gold medal game. We all know he scored that incredible goal, basically walked around Taves and Makar to score the first goal. But he was second behind Jack Eichel in ice time with forwards for that game. So he wasn't like a second or third line guy. I mean, Coach Sullivan and Coach Hines, they were leaning on Matt Boldy in big minutes during that game. So that breeds so much confidence in your game. And so I think it just, more than actually just winning a championship, PA, I just think it brings so much confidence to especially the guys that won the gold medal. And let's not overlook what Jesper Wallstedt has done. I mean, he didn't play any games in the Olympics, but he had a chance to be around the best players in the world in Team Sweden. And don't think that didn't affect his confidence. Since he's come back, PA, he's been one of the top goalies in the NHL. Just fact.
Yep. Since
we've come back from the Olympics, Jesper Wallstedt has been one of the top goalies in the NHL. I think his save percentage is second in the NHL. So he looks like he's dripping with a lot of confidence too. So that would be my answer on that. Just overall confidence, PA.
Wes, you're playing very fast right now. Thank you very much for the conversation. Hopefully I'll see you at the rink soon. All right.
You got it, bro. Take care.
See ya. Wes Walz, former captain for the Minnesota Wild. And Wild and Stars begin this weekend, along with the Wolves and the Denver Nuggets. And you know what? How about some talkbacks? Because we're going to call it Feedback and Finchy. Yesterday, we took 4 or 5 talkbacks, and the question still has some A-topic to it, in my estimation. Who has a better advance chance? Wild at Dallas or Wolves at Denver? Free iHeartRadio app, 30 seconds, you get the bit. Now, remember, the last 4 years, 65% of lower-seeded teams advance in the Stanley Cup playoffs. That's the last 4 years. And during the same time frame, 75% of higher-seeded teams make it out of the first round of the NBA. All right, so it's a stark difference there. Let's call it the ACT. The Advanced Chance Talker. Brett's over there ready for these talkbacks. And also slide in some Minnesota Vikings if you're interested with predictions for what is to come a week from Thursday at 18, or maybe what you want to happen at 18. Feedback and Finchy. The Finchy part is this. Double B cut up 3 Chris Finch responses from yesterday's 9 to noon show, and we would like to analyze them. That's all next on the 9 to nooner on KFAN. Feedback and Finchy. Chris Finch joined 9 to noon yesterday. Podcastable. KFAN.com, 9 to noon on demand. It was the penultimate segment, I believe. It was the second to last segment, around 11:20. Said a lot of cool things. There are at least three that really resonated with me. Given it was at the end of the show, we didn't get a chance to unpack some things, so let's begin here. Coach Finch, what are some keys to getting by Denver?
Well, I mean, it always begins with, how you're going to attack Jokic or how you're going to try to, stop him and try to mitigate his damage. I mean, there's the different routes that you can take. We've employed different game plans at different times, but he's always going to be at the heart of it. And then he does such a great job of making all of his teammates better. Which ones do you feel like you can impact around him? That's certainly gonna be one for us. I think irrespective of who we're playing, like finding a good and consistent offensive rhythm is really, really important. And that's like one of the things we got to really prepare ourselves for this week. With so many guys having been in and out over the last few weeks, we haven't had much of a rhythm. And even when we were healthy, we struggled to maintain it. So we know what that looks like for us. We've got to just try to get there. And then also, you have to do that also in the context of, what you think Denver's going to do defensively against you. So
right.
Those are the things I would think are the big keys for us right now.
Hey,
and then it's always about possession, rebounding the ball and taking care of it.
Finchy, excellent answer as usual. Couple of interesting nuggets from it. One is he talked about Nikola Jokic, the best overall player on the planet, probably because of his size, ball handling ability, and things like that. So he's like, all right, basically paraphrasing, he's like, Joker's going to get his. What about the guys around him? So you got to put other guys on a series of bad games. So therefore, their best player has to do a little too much. And maybe that plays into the hands of the Minnesota Timberwolves. He also said, figuring out relatively soon what Denver's going to do with the team defensively. Now, Denver's defense, it does not have the 85 Bears blushing. And that includes Joker, but he's just so big. He's tough to get around. But they're going to use Christian Brown on Anthony Edwards. That's a mismatch. And Finch and his staff are really good at exploiting mismatches. So Brown's good. He hits threes. I like Christian. Wouldn't mind having him, in kind of a reserve role here. But nevertheless, that needs to be exploited. Jamal Murray can change games offensively. Never been known for his defensive prowess. That's a Dante DiVincenzo thing there, or whomever he gets off picks. So those were a couple of interesting answers. Oh yeah, he talked about ball movement. That's been a common thread from A to Z of the regular season, and I brought it up 2 hours ago with Dane Moore, podcastable, KFAN.com. When Chris Finch, in my belief, without intel, just from watching almost all the games, when Chris Finch says we lost because the ball got too sticky, that means, generally speaking, Edwards and Randall, they're getting their ball hog on. And, they want to cut a 6-point deficit all by themselves. Jaden McDaniels, he gets lost in the shuffle when things like that happen. So do other things. So swift ball movement, very, very key. Talkback machine, free iHeartRadio app. What you got, Double B?
What's up, guys? I think the Wolves have a better shot of making it out of the first round. I just got to go off the history of Wild not winning and getting out of the first round these last couple of years. And, I mean, have we really seen that switch been flipped for the Wild? I guess you could say the same for the Wolves, but as of recent, the Wolves seemingly turn it on in the playoffs every year, make it back to the Western Conference Finals the last 2 years. I think the Wolves have a better shot.
Appreciate the talk back, my brother. And if they do have a shot as a 3.5-1 underdog to beat Denver. Forcing Nikola Jokic to shoot a bunch of three-pointers, that was a topic du jour for Finchie yesterday.
Well, the numbers will tell you that, when he's shooting a high volume of threes, they're not their best version. But he's had a up and down season from three this year, but we know that he always seems to make the big ones, and he's got that type of moxie. It used to be something that where he was a little bit more of a reluctant shooter. Now he's got to the point where I feel he'll take as many as the game needs him to take. They do have some really good shooting around him now, and I think that's something that they've been able to really augment their roster in the last off season. And so it's again, it's one of those pick your poisons. Do you want him to shoot him, or do you want others to benefit from him and shoot them? Mm-hmm. And in the playoffs, the level of shot contestedness, the speed at which guys are closed out, all that kind of stuff ramps up. But you still got to make people miss, and that's what defense comes down to. No matter what strategy or coverage or tactic you employ, it's how much can you bother the shot with a great shot contest.
Finchie giving us the goods yesterday at KFAN.com, 9 to noon on demand from yesterday, second to last segment. And, with the talkbacks, Wild, Wolves, Wild, it's the old ACT, which has the best advance chance talker. Let's see what this talkback person says.
Hey, PA, Matt from Houston, Texas here. A little off topic, but just wanted to shout out Finchie. I know you have a good relationship with him. Wolves were in Houston last week, and I brought the two boys down there to try to get some Wolves autographs since we're big Wolves fans. And Finchie stopped over, talked to the boys, wished our youngest a happy birthday, asked about his birthday plans, and was really just a class act. Made a huge difference to the boys, and they had a blast. And just want to shout Finchie out and want you to do the same. Thanks, PA. Keep up the good work.
You just did it, my brother, and thanks for the nice words. That's super cool, man. And, the Finch-led Timberwolves have made the playoffs 5 consecutive years, and I wanted to bring that up for Chris yesterday, and here's what he said.
I appreciate that. It's, we don't take it for granted. It means a lot. It really does. It means that, we're just trying to lay a foundation where we expect to be here. But yet we got to put the work in the Western Conference, that seemingly gets harder and harder. I think it's another step of consistency, which is what we're trying to strive for. We might have inconsistencies at times throughout the season, but the way the league is right now, it's so open. And there's been 7 champions in 7 years. You just got to give yourself as many chances to do it. Make a run, and it's matchup driven from here on out, as we know, and it's a tough road. There's no doubt about it. But just being there and surviving some of the adversity that we did this season, whether it be injuries or other things, then we're really excited to be here and ready to go. We got a chance to relaunch ourselves, regroup a little bit. And I said this all last week. I don't know if you heard any of my media, but nobody needed the certainty of knowing where they were going to be more than us. The certainty of being locked in, and even if we didn't know who we were going to play, we could actually take care of some things in our own house that we needed desperately to take care of. So now it's up to us to take that and put it to good use and take full advantage of that break that we got.
Appreciate Chris joining 9 to noon.
Wasn't that good?
And he'll be on next week, hopefully after the Timberwolves take a 1-0, 2-0, or maybe even a 1-1 series situation from Denver, the Mile Get High City. Perhaps some more talkbacks around the corner, but yesterday we had a talkback from a guy who put together a sweet rhyme, and I want to play off that a little bit when we return to KFAN.
The takes don't stop when the
mics turn off, you can check out the KFAN YouTube channel for exclusive videos, in-depth takes, initials and password games, and behind-the-scenes content. Search KFAN on YouTube, hit subscribe today, or just go to KFAN.com/watch.
Man, we got so much going on right now. Holy cow. What a great time of the year. What a great time of the year. The Wild season concludes this evening. Then we got the playoffs this weekend. We got Finchy and Feedback at 2:30 on Saturday. We have a Wild schedule yet?
I'm not sure if it's confirmed, but it's coming. So I want to say it's Saturday.
Okay. Well, do you have Steam?
No.
I mean, okay. Well, Walzy just slipped or whatever he's talking about. Saturday when they meet in Dallas, or Saturday night, whatever it is. I'm really hoping it's Saturday night. I know you couldn't care less, but I could. I mean, because you got the NFL draft during the course of the day, which I'm not a big Saturday draft guy, but still cool to follow who the Vikings take. And then after that, you got the Wolves at 2:40, and I was just hoping Bettman didn't clump on top of all the fun. So if you were to guess when the Minnesota Wild play Saturday, when would you guess, or would you not like to venture a guess?
I wouldn't want to venture a guess just on the small chance that I'm missing something and it has been out there that I'm just not seeing, which is possible.
All right, give me your best. Man, I wrote some things down for you, but can't remember what happened with the clipping penalty of that segment. Where is it? It was the 920, the no-hit wonder bit. Dontavian, give me your best 10 or 15 seconds on Dontavian Wicks getting traded to Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's makes my stomach churn a little bit making deals with Philly, but I think it was the right move. You get some capital. Wicks was good. It wasn't anything against him, but you think about all the mouths that they have to feed when it comes to Golden, Reed, Watson, Kraft, Musgrave. It's just a lot of...
Musgrave? Okay. All right. That was 13 seconds. Good. Talkbacks here in a minute. Green Bay is, and I don't care about this, but a lot of people read it and follow it, so therefore I feel like sometimes I need to opine into the face of the age of rage. And this is coming from Green Bay fans, or Green Bay people who I follow on social media, where they're like, next level Goody got ripped off. I'm a Dontavian Wicks guy.
I like him too.
Well, maybe because he has his best games against the Vikings, and I'm there for him. But the Jaden Reed, Watson, who can play. So Reed, Watson, Tucker, Kraft. Okay, I'm cool.
Yeah.
I got the draft too. I'm cool. I'm cool. Where'd Dobbs go, Raiders?
Patriots.
Patriots, okay. Yeah, and Romeo was in and out. But I'm like, why? I mean, Jaden Reed, Watson, and Kraft. That's a wonderful starting point from which to build. Musgrave did some better things last year, but whatever. I think they can do better than that. Who's the other tight end?
I'm still not out on Golden.
Well, you can't be.
Yeah.
Because he's played one season super fast. He reminded me last year of a guy who doesn't get the playbook. Just doesn't get the depth of route.
I get that impression.
Certain things with it. But again, he was a rookie and God gifted him with elite speed. Secondly, no, we don't need to do that. And we already did Caleb Banks. Give me a talk back, please. 3-2.
Hey, Paul, this is Phil from Como Park.
Hey.
Wanted to weigh in on the Wild Wolves playoff
advanced chance.
I think the Wild have a better shot at making it out of the first round than the Wolves, unfortunately, this year. I don't like the way the Wolves are, quote-unquote, practicing before they play in the big games here. So I think the Wild, with our additions, they just seem like a different team ready to strike.
Hey.
Bye.
Thank you, St. Paul.
Let's close like this. We took a handful of talkbacks yesterday, and the best was a guy who put together a sweet rhyme. If you want to hear it back, podcast 9 to noon from yesterday, it's right at the end. That's when Nordo dropped it. It inspired me to it inspired me to craft these. Let me get to the right double B button bar page, and here we are. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. So a rhyme ended yesterday's show, and I decided to get goofy. So here we go.
Stop!
No, I like them. First, a limerick. There once was a star named Ant who tired of being told you can't. So he kept dunking on fools and didn't care about the rules. and now the refs acquiesce to his rant.
I always love that one.
Gotta get a witness.
Brilliant.
Well, you liked it?
Yeah, that's good.
All right, now I got a haiku. You know how haikus work?
I do. 575.
575, that's my boy. Here we go. Now, I tried AI and its weak prose, and I put in something about the Wild. Haikus 575 with the syllables. AI spit out, this is so bad. Here's what AI spit out. Green ice, red and white. Minnesota Wild Plain, Northern Hockey Pride.
Yeah, that's not good.
Terrible. The real AI, Allen Iverson, could craft one much better and probably never has watched a Wild game. So let's try this to close. It's a haiku. Call them falling stars. After all, it's playoff time. Our ice. It's our ice. Hey!
Yes!
And one more, ready? Double B, they say. Green and gold is his best love. Thus, bye, says the girl. Hey! Great work as usual today, man. Hey, thanks everybody for listening. I'm Paul Allen. The program's around the corner at FM 100.3 KFAN. May God bless you and all of your families from the bottom of my heart. Have a wonderful day.
Podcast today's Paul Allen Show, or listen back to previous show and interviews by going to the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.